Hello everyone. On the second day of presentation of semester 4, I am going to deal with the topic Chinua Achebe's Vultures, Belson Game, Genocide Insights. These are my academic details. These are points which I am going to deal with in my presentation. So first start with the introduction of Chinua Achebe. He was born in 1930 in Ogidi, Nigeria, was raised in the Igbo cultural tradition. Achebe studied English literature at University College, Ibadan. He began his career as a teacher before joining the Nigerian Broadcasting Corporation. He is a prominent writer in African literature and famous for his novel Things Fall Apart. And he also wrote No Longer at Ease, An Arrow of Gold, and he also published a poem, collected poems, and Christmas in Biafra and other poems. His talent was recognized with the Commonwealth Poetry Prize in 1972 for his first collection, Be Aware Soul Brother and other poems. He received the German Booksellers Peace Prize, the Dorothy and Linian Cheese Prize, and the Man Booker International Prize for Fiction, and honorary degrees from over 20 American universities. He passed away in Boston in 2013. So let's discuss the poem Vulture. Poem Vulture is written in 1971. Poem explores the dark side of human nature during the conflict. This poem is a very thought-provoking poem which describes the juxtaposition of love and darkness through vivid imagery and powerful language. In the first section of the poem, poet gives the imagery of vulture, and vulture is sitting on a dead tree and a grey weather, and the male vulture is depicted as close to his his mate, hinting an unexpected tenderness. In this second section, Achebe explores the nature of love, highlighting its presence in unlikely place like a journal house where vultures live peacefully amidst death. And in the third section, he talks about the Belson camp, where the commandant's love for his child amidst war atrocities showcase the enduring nature of love amidst darkness. So he is the soldier commander in the Belson camp. He has both nature. He loves his child also, and he became cruel with other human beings. So in the final stanza, Achebe shows that love can have both good and bad sides. The soldier loves his child, but he also hurts others. The entire poem is filled with certain grayness. It evokes a sense of sadness and horror. So background of the poem. Poem set against in the Nigerian Civil War. The war in Nigeria, with its associated mass atrocities, it arguably one of the first major movement in post-colonial Africa. We can find many post-colonial African literature related with the Nigerian Civil War, and these were known as the genocide of Igbo people. During the massacre of Igbos in Nigeria between 1966 and 1970, 1 to 3 million people died. Massacre of Igbos and other Easterners across the country led to thousands of deaths and displacement of millions. And write about this civil war in their literature, and they they explore their idea and their views on this war. So let's discuss what is genocide. In 1944, Lemkin published his most important work, Axis Rule in Occupied Europe, a legal analysis of Nazi-occupied Europe. In it, he coined the term genocide, right from the Greek genos meaning tribe and the Latin side meaning to kill. He said that, I quote, murder had a name. Why was it named crime for one person to kill another, but not for a government to kill millions of people? Shouldn't states be held accountable for trying to destroy entire peoples, their lives, culture, and histories? I unquote. In the poem Vulture, Achebe refers the Belsen game his opinion. Vibrant during the Nigerian Civil War, the dead vibrant soldier would be regarded as a victim of genocide, just as the Jews who were killed off in the gas chambers and uh, incinerated in the earth of Belsen were victims of Nazi genocide. The poem talks about the vultures eating a dead soldier. Vultures are birds that eat dead things, but the poem might mean something more. But Achebe might be suggesting that the real villains are the people who caused the war. They are the ones who created a situation where such violence happened. In other words, we can say that there is nothing wrong with the vultures, but there is everything wrong with the humans, whose inhumanity brought about war. They are the true vultures in the moral structure of this poem. The poem talks about the Belsen camps and how the people are murdered by the Nazi extremism. And Chinua Achebe records this incident in his poem The Vulture to describe the situation of Nigerian civil war. Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. It's established in 1943 for Jewish people with foreign passports, hoping to trade them for prisoners. But by 1945, it was filled with sick and starving Jews forced on death marches by the Nazis. When British soldiers entered the camp, they found thousands of dead people and 10,000 of sick prisoners who barely had any food or water. Here I had the experience of Anna Frank. She is a German Jewish girl, and she is also a victim of this Nazi extremism, and she documented her life in her diary writing. She mentioned that life at Bergen-Belsen was terrible. There wasn't enough food, and it was hard to stay clean. And his sister Margaret got sick, and many people in the camp caught in disease called typhus that made them very ill. And he got sick too, and both sisters became weak. Margaret died in early March, and his health both worse quickly, and she passed away not long after. Although it was too late for Annie, the camp was finally liberated in April 1945. So here it described that Annie Frank, she also died in this concentration camp, and she described her experience and the reality of this concentration camp in her diary writing. Genocide and crimes against humanity, and some examples from our real world. Rohingya crisis in Myanmar. According to United Nations, Holocaust of Rohingya Muslim minority group in Myanmar by the military and Buddhist extremists has been dubbed a textbook example of genocide. This decision comes after a review of evidence including killings, mass rape, and arrests, and hundreds of thousands of Rohingya have fled Myanmar since the military crackdown in 2017. The Rwandan genocide. During the Rwandan genocide against the Tutsi minority, some writers and activists refer to the massacre as Africa's Holocaust to underscore the systematic nature and scale of the killings, which claimed over 1,800,000 lives in just 100 days. Uyghur genocide in China. This genocide is still going on right now, and there are growing allegations that China's repressive policies towards the Uyghur Muslim minorities, including mass internment camps, forced labor, and suppression Uyghur culture and identity amount to genocide comparisons have been made to the Nazis, dehumanization and persecution of Jewish people. So these are some examples which are also connected with the Holocaust of Jewish people. In contemporary time, we can observe the war between Russia and Ukraine and Palestine and Israel. We can observe that in this war, many common people suffered and they have to live in a refugee camp. They have they have not basic needs like food and water, and for that things they have to suffer. So this war and extremism and this type of uh, uh, genocide and war become this genocide and war becomes a metaphor in a literature for a long time, and writers and poets describe this. Writers and poets describe this situation of common people in their works. So, in conclusion, Achebe's poem helps us understand the horrors of war and suffering of the Igbo people during the Nigerian Civil War. It reminds us to look beyond simple comparisons and understand the unique experience of each community affected by genocide. Chinua Achebe's poems serve as a bridge between cultures and a stark reminder of the devastating impact of war. And Achebe's inclusion of the Holocaust in his poem encourages us to contemplate the paradoxical essence of human brutality. So, at the end, we can say that this type of genocide, war, and this situation become very dangerous for common people. And here are my references. Now I am open for questions.
In what ways does Achebe's poem serve as a form of cultural critique?
Chinua Achebe's poem Vulture as a critique of culture. So, as I mentioned, that Chinua Achebe describes the situation of war, genocide in his poem. So, this describes how humans have a both sides. They love also and they hate also. But it is based on their choice. So, but they are doing more in inhumanity works, and this type of behavior and their decision of politicians make a huge impact on common people. So they have to suffer because of them. So in this poem, Achebe described this situation as a cultural critique and through the symbol of vultures.
India, how does the poem Vulture by Chinua Achebe prompt us to talk about treating others fairly and kindly, especially when facing genocide?
So, how the poem Vulture prompts us to talk about treating others fairly and kindly. As he described the both evil nature of human and the good nature of human. Human has a kind nature also. And through this poem, we can say that we have to be kind, especially through the when people are going through the situation like genocide and war, we have to treat them fairly. And in her poem, in his poem, she also mentioned the commandant of Belsen King, how he has also love. He loves his child, but he treated other human very badly. So in this point we can say that humans have to be kind and they have to love each other, and all human beings have equal human rights. Don't do support these types of decision by politicians which impacted sufferings of the common people, or their decision of war and genocide. We have to say against them, and through literature or any work, we have to express our ideas that we have to be fair and kind with each and every human being. Thank you.